We are the Institute for Intuitive Intelligence, revolutionizing intuition by training spiritually fierce women globally as qualified intuitive guides. Subscribe for the leading research and teachings on the conversation of intuition development. Hello. I am very happy to be coming to hang out for a little while on this Thursday afternoon here in Melbourne. And I want to talk about some things that have been landing for me. I am deep in interviews for the third level, just as the winter weather is kind of ramping up here in Melbourne. And some really big awareness is dropping in for me. And it always does. That's evolution, right? Constant growing expansion. I sent out in our newsletter yesterday to the Institute list some deepening into understanding of the priestess, mystic, leader archetypes. I'm not going to talk about that right now. That is in my free live training happening tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll share the link so you can register. It's going to be a pretty epic training. I literally hit up Rachel Cannard, our Institute designer. I'm like, I need a new graphic from you. And she's created it. So we're going to have new graphics and a whole bunch of new ways of working with super conscious leadership. And that's all tomorrow. But what I want to talk about now is something that's really landed for me about understanding the focus of the work of the Institute and where my work is going. And this really big realization from an interview I did with an amazing woman this week for the third level program. And the third level is a year-long immersion to become spiritually fierce, totally connected to your spiritual self-esteem, and to bring together all of your existing skills, modalities, trainings in the spiritual industry under this meta level program. So the third level will teach you intuitive intelligence through theory and praxis, but it isn't a modality-based training. It's a meta-level training. And what I mean by that, that definition of meta is something that is, and I wrote something down just so I get it right, it's seeing from a higher perspective. It's beyond. It's not trying to give you another modality or another way of just working with people, but to create a container in which you are so deeply immersed in your skill as an intuitive that no matter what you do, no matter what modality, whether you're in coaching or healing or leadership or however you work, it is going to increase your authority in that service as an intuitive intelligence expert. And it is so exciting for this to land in this way, and for that realization of the function of this program. The true deep function is not to give you another qualification that you will use as this discrete experience for a client, but to bring it all together. So the glue is the intuition, the intuitive intelligence, and that whatever you do, if that glue is truly connecting everything, all the parts of your service, your certainty of the rightness and the righteousness of your work will never be doubted by you. And the biggest problem that I encounter in women who want to show up in a visionary way, in an iconic way, and to truly lead great, miraculous work in their service is their self-doubt, is that lack of spiritual fierceness, is that fear that they are not what they claim to be. And this conversation around the imposter syndrome has been coming up in our membership community a little bit, but this idea that we hide from our own superpower, our own innate power, which is our intuitive intelligence, either because it's never been trained in us. We've been trained in, as I say, discrete modalities or practices or processes, but what's the meta level? What contains all of that? And that is intuitive intelligence. If you are not fiercely turned on to that God voice, that part of you, that super conscious state of being in which all things exist, then you will always sit in a space of doubt. There will never be enough qualifications, never enough certainty, never enough hours of devotion, and you will sit in a space of not being able to take your work to the highest possible level. And I use that term superconscious state of being, and that's the state of being that we cultivate to be an intuitive intelligence trainer. And the intuitive intelligence trainer is the qualification that you get out of the third level, but it isn't a discrete standalone experience. It's meant to be woven into all of the work that you do, or that will lead you to discover your own unique way of working. So I'm really excited about being able to speak about this meta level of what this program is and how it can serve you to step beyond any limits, any doubts, any perception that you're missing something. Because when you're connected to your intuitive intelligence, that super conscious state of being becomes a fact. It's your reality. You live in communion with the God voice, with the God mind, and you are beyond that doubt of what to do here or how best to serve. You are held in that container of that one mind, of which we are an absolute divine peace. So it's big stuff for me, and it's something I'm going to be speaking more about, you know, you probably don't need another practitioner training. You probably don't need to go and qualify in another modality, but that meta level program that contains everything that is like that postgraduate study that brings everything together and weds you to your spiritual fierceness, your spiritual self-esteem in such an uncompromising way. It's big, exciting stuff. If you want to learn more about intuitive intelligence and its connection to leadership, I do have this training coming up tomorrow, brand new, live, free, amazing. Register if you want to hear more about cultivating that superconscious state of being, which is the place that our intuitive intelligence trainers, our third level students, learn to operate from. And that is really, you know, for me, this is the missing ingredient. For most of us, we don't need yet another process, another modality. What we need is that meta program that will bring it all together and give us that absolute certainty of our connection to that one mind. So much love to you all. I'll share those links. Please join me tomorrow. And as always, you know, it'll be my privilege to hang out with you. So much love.